Welcome back, everybody, to the Filmmakers Roundtable, the podcast dedicated to films, filmmaking, and getting insight from filmmakers working in the industry. I'm Thomas.
I'm Dylan, and I'm ready. I'm ready.
Good for you. All right, so how you doing, Dylan?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, I just got a pre-scan.
Really?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic.
Okay.
Can't you tell?
Okay.
I had a pre-scanned phone interview for a job that I applied for, so I'm hoping to get contacted again for an informal interview, so we're seeing how that looks out. I'm currently working on the video for this month. I've been doing a lot of readings and comic dubs this week, and also participating in a thing called Inktober. Are you familiar with this, Tom?
No, I don't think so.
Inktober is a little hashtag on Twitter that a lot of artists like to take part in. Inktober, as the name implies, you draw with ink. Any kind of ink you draw for that entire month, and you post your pictures under that hashtag, what day it was done on, and your other sort of hashtags related to the material that you drew. This also, I believe recently they extended that definition of ink to digital paintings. That way digital artists who work mostly in the digital format can do that as well. So I've been doing that on and off again, doing some readings and comic dubs, as I said, keeping myself busy, but I do have a video planned for this month. It's gonna be one that I've wanted to do for a while.
Cool. All right. So
how are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. The next episode, I will be 22 years old. So
happy early birthday.
Thanks.
Happy birthday
Shut up.
to you.
Dylan?
Happy. Okay. Did you know that song's copyrighted by the estate of the Jackson family estate, apparently?
I knew it was copyrighted, but I didn't know by who. And I always wondered why you'd never hear it in TV shows.
That is odd.
Yeah. Or movies, for that matter.
Why? It's like it feels like that song should be like in the public domain at this point.
I'm sure someday it will, but
someday.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right. What am I working on? I'm working on Awaken. I'm gonna have we couldn't do the Skype call with the other actor. But we're gonna do it on Monday. Or today, actually, as you're listening to this.
Yeah.
So hopefully, because like I said, we re-record these on Friday, and yes, and then I got some decisions to make, locations to get. Things are coming along. So yeah.
Taking names.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's move on to our next segment.
Movie news.
Movie news. Yes. So you brought this to my attention.
Yes.
In fact, you pretty much bring all the news to my attention.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm the news guy here. I'm the one who looks it up. Mm-hmm. But the news that Tom is referring to, as for those who can see in the video probably, according to the Star Advertiser, Walmart pushes deeper into Hollywood with interactive TV deal.
Mm-hmm.
Walmart's going Hollywood, people.
It was only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time. Now we're going to be seeing Walmart in all of our movies now.
Oh God, I'm just. Oh.
Well, that's not specifically what that means, but according to the Star Advertiser, the world's largest retailer has formed a joint venture with a startup called Edco. I'm hoping that I pronounced that right, to develop original interactive programming, including cooking shows and toy catalogs, and will acquire an undisclosed stake in the company. And Walmart at this time has invested over $200 million into Edco.
This sounds like a certain creator with trying to launch a streaming service.
I know who you're talking about, and
we're not going to say his name.
Yeah, because that brings up a whole kerfuffle of politics and morals.
And just because I don't like him. So what are your thoughts on this?
I think it was bound to happen, you know.
Yeah.
Well, like Scott McCall, Walmart's head of entertainment, said in an interview, customers are spending a lot of their time in the digital world, and we want to be a player with respect to our customers. Customers drive by Walmart stores several times a day. We want them to drive by our digital footprint several times a day. It makes sense now that we're in this digital world.
I guess in business sense, but it's like they can do it, but should they?
I think it's one of those things where we have to see what they'll do.
Yeah, I guess. But
Like
hey,
with
maybe it means we can get jobs.
maybe, who knows?
Although I worked for Walmart once and I didn't like it, so
I wouldn't mind working for a few shows if they pay well and they're putting out some good stuff. If it's engaging to work on, hey,
yeah,
I'd be down for that.
yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
As long as those toy catalogs are nothing like those weird toy videos on YouTube. As long as they're nothing like that, please.
Huh?
You don't know about this? Oh,
Hmm.
about a couple of years ago, YouTube was being swamped. Do you remember all those Spider-Man and Elsa videos?
I've heard of them.
They're in the same. It's in the same ballpark and same time period. Those were getting popular. Toy channels were getting popular as well. Little kids opening up a whole bunch of surprise eggs and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, making money off opening toys and playing with
Which
them.
I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like fuck, like the one channel that surpassed PewDiePie. So
Yep, it was a little kid. Though that whole era, that whole timeline, that period of time for YouTube was actually ended up being pretty dark. There were some things discovered about some of those channels.
really,
Some very dark things.
huh?
Just one word to describe it all: abuse.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty other people who talk about it, but y'all can go look that up elsewhere.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, that's because I spend a lot of time on YouTube and I see
Well,
these stuff.
I do too, but I don't really pay attention to like the controversies, other than, or at least I don't try to, like some of the stuff with the Paul brothers and stuff. Because
Well, I think I run into it because of the people that I watch, because these are the people that talk about this stuff and bring this
Right.
stuff to light.
right, so
But back to the topic at hand. We have to see where this goes. Kind of
Yeah.
like with the Netflix deal, or them going directly to
yeah,
LA.
yeah,
We're
talked
gonna have
about-
to see what this will bring about.
Right. So I guess Dylan, you probably have to elaborate on this. Our next bit of news: the Film Academy honors 19 student filmmakers.
I do not want a ketchup on Burger Friday. I get this advertisement out of my way. God damn it. Let's see. Yeah, it's. Come on, I don't want this pop up. No, I don't want this pop up. Is there an exit? Is there
You
an
do want this pop up.
No, I do not. Okay, I'm trying to find the X on this thing. There's no X. Oh, okay. Okay. Star Tribune, according to this little question mark, All-Star Tribune readers without a digital access subscription are given a limited number of complimentary articles every 30 days. So I think because it recognizes my IP address or something, I don't know, it's not letting me close out of this
Okay.
advertisement. So
Okay. Well, I guess we'll edit that part out.
yeah.
I guess because I brought this to your attention, so I guess we'll kind of replace this. So
Sure.
our next bit of news, because we kind of
Because advertisers have to be the way they are.
yeah. So I guess our next bit of news, the beloved producer Gary Kurtz, producer of Star Wars: A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, passed away this past week.
Rest in peace, Gary Kurtz.
Yeah, Mark Hamill stated in this tweet, "I've lost a lifelong friend. The world has lost a kind, wise, multi-talented artist and filmmaker whose contributions to cinema cannot be overstated.
Definitely.
It was an honor to have worked with him, and I know I am better man just for having known him." So, yeah, it's because he was. It's often said that he was the one on Empire and Star Wars that he kind of kept everything in check, kept Lucas in check. I mean, we can talk for hours about that, but we'll maybe another day. So.
Yeah. We'll probably mention him during when we talk about Georgie.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good man lost. So it's funny, we're getting to that point now where it's kind of like when you think of like the people on Wizard of Oz, like none of those people are alive anymore. I think like the last Munchkin died this year.
Yep.
So
I remember hearing about that.
So yeah, it's Sucks to say so, but anyway, on to slightly less
Lighter
depressing
news.
news. The Aladdin teaser trailer uh, has made its debut. So
Yes, it did. I have not watched this yet, actually.
I watched it last night. Ryan shared it on Facebook. It looks good. It doesn't look gray and drab like a lot of the other Disney live action
I'm
films.
just kind of scanning through this right now. This
Right.
does look kind of visually interesting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Didn't show Will Smith as the genie.
Yeah, they're probably waiting for him for the big reveal.
Yeah. Oh.
Please.
That's the one thing I'm excited for.
I can't wait to hear his. If they're gonna have the songs in there, I can't wait to hear his rendition of "You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me." No.
But can Will Smith sing? I know he can rap because he used to be a rapper, but
Maybe they might.
oh god,
Do I want to hear that?
That would
Do
be
I want to hear a rap version of "You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me"?
Yeah, I'm just getting back to what's her name, Emma Watson, or
Yes, Emma Watson.
Hermione.
Yeah, Emma Watson. From
Yeah, Emma
Beauty and the Beast.
Watson from Beauty and the Beast. She's a terrible singer and not a good actor. Although, I mean, like Doug Walker said this, like if a good actor can kind of compensate for not so great singing. Will
Like-
Smith's a good actor.
Mm-hmm. And like Dwayne the Rock Johnson in Moana.
Yeah,
Not the best singer, but
At
he's got a lot of energy to him, and
yeah,
and the animation in that scene does really help his performance.
yeah. So, yeah, this could work.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Yep. So apparently the star from the original is in here.
What's his name? Uh, from Full House. Oh, crap, what's his name?
I'm looking it up. Looking it up so we don't have to do a podcast correction. Scott Wingner?
Okay.
Wingner?
Yeah.
I'm probably mispronouncing that last name.
I think what was his name? Steve from Full House.
Let me see. Let me pull up this real quick. Television. Yep, he was Steve Hale in Full House.
Yeah. So he's in the movie.
Apparently, that's what this article is.
Because he's not Aladdin.
No.
I saw from the trailer. He looks like an actual like Indian or Middle Eastern person.
Yeah, but it says here Disney's Aladdin trailer has arrived, but did you spot the star from the original?
No, I didn't.
So maybe he's making a cameo.
Could be. Maybe he'll be what's his name? The villain.
Jafar.
Yeah, Jafar.
Or Iago.
Maybe.
Let's give Iago 2 songs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably the only Disney film besides Christopher Robin that I'm kind of excited to see. So just for Will Smith, because I love Aladdin. It's one of my favorite Disney films.
Same here.
One of my favorite films. I've seen the movie a lot. I've seen it on Broadway. Great show. And we talked about this on an earlier episode. The actor, who played the genie in the Broadway show, he kind of has that's someone like that the charisma Will Smith would have. So yeah, I can see this working. So
I can see this working. I gave these Disney live action movies a chance when Beauty and the Beast was coming out, because outside of Aladdin and some of the other Disney movies like Mulan and Aladdin and Hercules, I watched on repeat as a kid. Beauty and the Beast was that other movie that I watched on repeat as a kid. So I gave the live action movies a chance, and that one was, I think I've gone on record on this podcast that it was visually interesting.
right.
Like it was it was really well put together, edited pretty well. Visually it looked really amazing, but what was the I kind of failed to see the point.
Right. Actually, there's something I saw on Facebook. I'm trying to find it here.
Oh, and also a little bit of tidbit according to express.co.uk. They're certain that Frank Welker, who everyone who played who supplied the animal noises for Abu and Jasmine's tiger. Oh damn, I can never pronounce the name right. Raja. I probably butchered that pronunciation right there. They are certain that he will also be reprising his role as the Cave of Wonders.
Mm-hmm. There's something I'm trying to find here. Um, for like if they were to do like a Atlantis Lost Empire live action.
Like, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, like I'm looking.
Like, there's certain movies, that are Disney's remaking that I'm like, what's like Beauty and the Beast and a lot like Lilo and Stitch that just got announced to be remade.
Really?
Yes. And I think I'm in the camp that I'm definitely in the camp of what's the point?
Yeah.
I'm definitely in the camp of that. Granted, it isn't out yet, and I haven't seen anything tangible yet. But really, what's the point?
Yeah. So I don't think
now Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Yeah. Well, I found that I don't think this is the video the post I actually saw, but if it'll load.
Loading.
Okay. All right. So, but like here's like a cast list. Andrew Garfield as Milo.
That would work. Yeah.
Where is he?
Please tell me Michael J. Fox is in there somewhere, even if he isn't Milo.
Sorry.
Ah.
I know.
Have him play the crotchety old man.
Terry Crews as Dr. Sweet.
Really? Terry.
Yeah.
Nice to see him in a film again.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't the guy, but well, actually, you don't know him. He's a I can't remember his name, but he's an actor from Game of Thrones playing what's his name? The guy with the mustache, kind of.
Was he? Oh, I know who you're talking about. What was his name? Dang it. He was the Demolition Man. Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. There's one post I saw. It's not this one, but it's like it was for those who've seen Game of Thrones, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. But it's like that actor. I was just like, yeah, I could totally see that actor working, because that isn't the Demolition Man kind of like sly and conniving.
No, he's just kind of like he's kind of very monotone. Not monotone, not directly monotone, but he's kind of drawn back, kind of matter of fact.
Well, that's what Littlefinger kind of is. Well, he's a lot of things in the Game of Thrones.
We got dynamite, TNT, all kinds of explosions, but we didn't kill anybody.
Yeah,
at least nobody we knew.
Yeah, but anyway, there's other stuff. Commander Rourke.
Let me pull up the cast list from the original right here.
Oh, anyway, he's played by Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
This is others. I mean, this isn't official yet, but this is just like what the other people would want. So, but yeah, you get the point. So,
I could see that working. Atlantis: The Lost Empire as a Disney remake. Live action remake. I could see that working. Yeah, there's some movies in the Disney catalog that I could see working in a live action setting.
Yeah.
Well, Atlantis: The Lost Empire being one of them, like I said. And I'll keep my eye on that one.
Yeah.
I almost saw The Jungle Book because it had Christopher Walken as King Louis.
Yeah.
I would just go there for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at a list like the Little Mermaid.
It's one of those movies I'm like,
do it well,
but like that's the only thing. Really, a lot of these movies you can say, what's the point of remaking them?
Yeah.
They are what
like,
they
like. Frozen, too soon.
Aren't they just gonna come out with a sequel here soon?
Yes,
like that's way too soon.
Yeah. The Emperor's New Groove. Man.
I can see that working with people with the audience that The Greatest Showman has.
Yeah.
I can see that working.
You get John Goodman,
Yeah.
Pinocchio. I thought there already was a live action Pinocchio. Not by Disney, but by somebody else.
There was, and then there was Pinocchio's Revenge.
Yeah.
That's an actual movie.
I've heard of it.
It's
Tangled too.
A bit too soon.
Yeah. Aladdin, that's coming up. This is I think this is an older list.
And then there's the big one. I think the big movie that's gonna make or break this trend. Well, that to me at least.
Dumbo?
No, not Dumbo.
What?
The Lion King.
Oh yeah, that is.
That was a big one. That was a big one back in the day when it came out, and it might be a big one this time around.
Yeah. So that's the one. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I could see. I can.
I mean that's a fucked up dark movie.
That is.
It's a great movie. But...
Maybe I could see them doing that if they were allowed to go even darker.
Yeah.
Like they were.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
they were a bit more.
Do R-rated.
Disney's first R-rated movie.
Oh, well, I think they've done R-rated stuff before.
Well, yeah, Deadpool.
Like before PG-13 was a thing.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I would be interested if they were.
The list also says Lilo and Stitch 2, the Aristocats.
What would the point of that be? Because it would be just a bunch of CGI cats running around.
Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to like, what was that one Kevin Spacey movie? 9 Lives or Garfield
or Cats and Dogs and Cats.
Oh God.
Hey, I love that movie as a kid. It doesn't.
As a kid.
Yes, it kind of doesn't make sense anymore nowadays, but it is a guilty pleasure.
Sword in the Stone. That's basically every King Arthur movie.
Yeah.
That's ever been made.
Yeah. Except that one was a bit more about his teaching.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Okay, that's the end of the list. Okay, the 15 underrated. We won't go into too much. 15 underrated films that should be made live action. You know, given more attention.
Yeah.
Robin Hood, no. There've been Robin Hood movies. The only one worth noting is the one from 1938, Errol Flynn. The Prince and the Pauper.
Prince and the Pauper. Wait, no, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah. Meet the Robinsons.
Really? Really?
This is just like it's stuff that should be made into live action.
No. That's a hard no from me. Because granted, the film does have some issues here or there. It's still a fantastic movie. I do love the lesson of the movie.
I wouldn't call it fantastic, but I think it's good. But
yeah, but I don't think it should be remade in live action.
The Rescuers.
It goes back to the aristocrat.
Aristocrats. Well, it could be like Stuart Little.
You just
the first two.
You just changed my mind on this. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. Atlantis: Lost Empire again. That we've discussed that. The Great Mouse Detective.
Maybe they could do it like Stuart Little.
Yeah. Hunchback of Notre Dame. We talked about that. Treasure Planet.
Give it a try. I want to see.
Yeah.
I'm like it would be heavily CGI, but I think maybe, I don't know.
The
Black Cauldron?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Yes. Only yes because I just recently found out about this. There's some lost animation from that movie with a decomposing body straight to a skeleton.
Oh.
It was a lot darker. The original cut that they showed to test audiences, Jeffrey Katzenberg remembered that it was especially dark.
Right.
So, if we can find that original animation, put it back in, I'd be all for that. But a live action remake, where they could go with that, I'd be interested.
Yeah, Pocahontas. I don't know how that'd fly today, because like Pocahontas is referred to as getting a lot of stuff wrong. Historically, which we kind of have to go into politicals, which we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about that. Hercules.
I think with Clash of the Titan remakes, I think we could do Hercules.
Didn't a Hercules movie come out like a couple years ago?
Yes, there was.
And it bombed. So.
Didn't that have Dwayne The Rock Johnson, or was it somebody else?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Me neither.
Okay, but yeah, you get the point. We're getting off topic here. So yeah, well, we're just gonna have to see what pans out with this. Maybe Disney could turn a new leaf with their live action stuff.
Well, I just wish they the biggest thing around me is that, can we get something new, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm all for that.
Yeah, like I'm all for Wreck-It Ralph too, but like, can we just get like a stream, not a constant stream? I can't say that. That's ridiculous even for a company that big. But like, can we just get an influx of new stuff? You know, yeah. I don't mind. I'm looking forward to Wreck-It Ralph 2 because even though that's a sequel, it's at least something new and not a remake.
Yeah, and well, that kind of goes into oversaturation, which we'll go into in our discussion segment. But let's get our last bit of news out of the way. How Halloween and Jamie Lee Curtis changed horror forever.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory. This piece from the Guardian goes into how Halloween and Jamie Lee Curtis, as the title would imply, how they changed horror going forward from that movie, because historically Halloween, it wasn't technically the first slasher movie,
Yeah.
because it wasn't the first holiday horror movie.
Yeah, you have like Psycho.
Black Christmas before that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Halloween is so significant because it is the modern understanding we have of a slasher.
Yeah. But it's because
the
Alfred
silence-
Hitchcock kind of made it the first.
Mm-hmm.
Made the first slasher with the Psycho and
Yeah,
the
like-
subsequent films, which we'll talk about those on another episode.
Well, the biggest difference there is like when Michael Myers is is our understanding of the modern slasher, because when we think of a slasher, we think of the silent stalker who
Right.
goes to his victims. With Psycho, I would consider that more the proto slasher film, because his victims come to him.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a little blurring. There's a bit of a blurring of the line there, because we consider Leatherface a slasher, and mostly his victims come to him in the first Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
But yeah, but Halloween is the birth of our modern understanding of the slasher. Without Halloween, we probably wouldn't have had Friday the 13th.
Some would say that's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I say it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we. I don't know.
Okay.
But like, it was so influential that years after that movie came out, John Carpenter remembered that someone had made a movie that was essentially Halloween on a train.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the big thing that Halloween burst open the door for. A lot of directors were taking their stab at this, and it's like whenever you describe a movie to somebody else, it's this movie, but yada yada.
Right.
It's like, and Jamie Lee Curtis it gave us Jamie Lee Curtis, the big scream queen, and another connection to Psycho, her mother, Janet Leigh.
Yeah.
It's also a big inspiration to indie filmmakers because of how low budget this movie was and how it came together.
Yeah.
Though and then also, which gave Friday the 13th the stepping stone to be taken as a serious production by Paramount. Because I remember Sean Cunningham, just if you allow me this little tangent here, Sean Cunningham recounted that Paramount took a risk and treated this low independent movie like it was a AAA release. They got a full theater run.
Right.
When normally they wouldn't have, because Halloween, it didn't get a full theater run. It played in theaters, but not across the country like a AAA movie would today.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that kind of speaks for itself. So on to our next short segment, I guess. Movies we've seen. I didn't get the chance to see anything. So, Dylan, what'd you see?
Bueller. Okay, I'm gonna restrain my fanboying, because I could easily do that, and I've done that for the past 2 episodes, but I'm going to restrain.
Yeah.
I've got some bullet points for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect casting.
Yeah.
I know that is a bit hyperbolic and it is subjective, but I believe the casting in this movie is absolutely perfect. Matthew Broderick as Ferris Bueller. It's like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
And especially coming off having seen him in the Godzilla movie where he played a nerdy pushover. It's like night and day.
Oh yeah.
This is a cool guy. This is a cool kid. I believe that he is the cool kid in school that everybody likes.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect example of how fourth wall breaking done right.
Yeah.
Because anytime that he breaks the fourth wall, there's always something funny. There's always a joke to be had, and it's always interesting to watch right from the get-go.
Yeah. It may sound childish, but then again, so is high school.
Cameron is so tight. If you stuck a lump of coal up his ass, in 2 weeks you'd have a diamond. Mess that up, but there's so many quotable lines.
Yeah.
Like to the rest of the cast, it's perfect. The improv is perfect. The script is perfect. To me, it's perfect. John Hughes was a master when it comes to that stuff, and you can see the appreciation the cast had for his work in the behind the scenes featurettes here on this DVD, the Bueller edition.
Yeah,
as it's called.
I've seen a little documentary about that. They overshot it essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they actually it just what I love about the movie is how it's so simple when you look at
right.
it. And how it's just a guy, the cool kid in school, the one that everybody loves except his sister.
Yep.
Wants to give his friend a fun day to enjoy himself for once.
Yeah. So that's funny because the Broderick and the sister, those two were kind of a thing.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Are we having another Brady Bunch scenario here?
What's the Brady Bunch scenario?
What happened was that, obviously none of the actors on the Brady Bunch were related, but two of them started dating.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was back, what was the Brady Bunch? Like the 60s, 70s?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, back then, like, and now we have like Jamie and Cersei, so that's nothing. So you don't quite understand that because you haven't seen Game of Thrones yet.
I think I've seen people talk about that scene.
I'm trying to like think of what particular scene, but all right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, not a scene in particular, but I've heard people talk about it.
Yeah, but you get the idea.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen just the music, it's so 80s.
Shout.
Yes, it's like a big party. It's like a big fun experience that you don't want to end.
Yeah, and those are real Chicago people.
Exactly,
like the construction workers.
Exactly, that was an actual parade.
Yeah,
Matthew Broderick in the featurette for this movie, he was talking about how they had to call the parade and basically ask them, "Can we shoot while this is going on?" So they halted that parade for that whole day just to shoot that film, and those were real people in the streets, real performers on the floats, and
it's one of those movie moments that just it's like the scene in it's like the dance scene in Back to the Future. So it
gets better every time you watch it.
Yeah. So did they talk about? Oh, okay.
Oh,
did they talk about Ferris Bueller 2?
No, not from what I recall in the featurette. They don't recall. There was nothing mentioned about Ferris Bueller 2. I remember hearing rumors in high school that they were going to make a sequel where he was older.
Yeah.
I think Ferris Bueller is one of those movies.
I think it's like something like they talk about. Or actually, there's an article here.
Yeah. As for my thoughts on that, I think Ferris Bueller is one of those movies where it doesn't need a sequel.
Yeah, it's kind of like doing a sequel to Napoleon Dynamite.
No,
it's just not gonna happen.
Well, they did a sequel TV show, cartoon.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was the thing.
I'm sure it was terrible. I'm trying to think.
What can I talk about that hasn't been talked about in this movie?
Actually,
it's like the comedic timing is so perfect. I've heard these jokes so many times before. That's that office scene where the principal thinks he's talking to Ferris.
Is that the same guy who's Walter Peck?
No, that was not Walter Peck.
Well, it looks like him.
It kind of does. Yeah, that man is not. Yeah, that Walter Peck was not played by Jeffrey Jones.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. But that whole scene, that scene where they're running back and forth while they're talking to Cameron on the phone, doing the impression of Ferris's girlfriend.
Yeah.
That whole scene was improv.
You mean his grandfather?
Oh, no, it was his father. Yeah, no. Cameron was imitating Ferris Bueller's girlfriend's father because remember, they called in saying that her grandmother had died.
But Cameron was saying my wife died.
No. My wife's father.
Oh, okay. I haven't.
I watched this last night, so
okay. I haven't seen it in a while.
So I've got it fresh in my mind.
I remember it. Go ahead.
Pardon my French, But you're an asshole!
Asshole.
Yes, sir, very much so. But the comedy in this movie, like I said, I've heard these jokes so many times before, but it still makes me laugh because they're so expertly crafted.
Right.
I'm letting my fanboying go a little loose here, but I'm just to make a point.
Yeah.
Like that whole office scene, it's so simple in execution,
Yeah.
and just the performances really make it work.
Right.
And Chicago looks beautiful in that movie. I gotta say that.
Yeah. Actually, there kind of was a sequel, but it was like, I think John Hughes had signed a deal with the studio to make like a double feature.
Mm-hmm.
But it was for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles
Uh-huh.
next to Ferris Bueller. So hang on, let me see. That seemed to.
We'll edit this out.
Jones seemed to lament a planned sequel that he believed would have been set in Hawaii had Matthew Broderick wanted to reprise his famous role. But Broderick wasn't interested in saving Ferris a second time around. So,
can you blame him?
Yeah,
because
it's one trick. You did it good, so you don't need less is more.
Yeah.
So, which we'll go more into that on another episode. But
yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched this, what
What
the hell are you doing? Go watch it.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. Yeah. If you haven't seen this movie, you're an asshole. No, you're not. Disclaimer: you're not. You're not. Sorry.
Well, I'm sure some of you are, but it's all right.
Well, everybody's an asshole.
We're all a little psychotic. Okay. And the other movie you saw though?
Nightmare on Elm Street. I wanted to. Well, this is a little preview for this Saturday. I know I'm a big horror movie nut.
This past Saturday.
Oh no! This Saturday actually.
The past Saturday, but as they're watching this.
Oh yeah. This past Saturday, I went and saw Nightmare on Elm Street. But since we're recording this on a Friday, I'm just letting you know. But I've watched that movie several times. Like I'm a big horror movie nut. Right. I've got most of the Jason movies on there on deluxe edition DVDs.
Yeah.
I've got the 4-packs for all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I'm hoping that you know what, we're gonna start those mini episodes we were talking about before we started recording.
Oh yeah.
That way,
that's something for next year. We'll go more into in a couple.
Because I wanted to do one for the Monday when the Monday that this comes out, because that way I can have my direct reactions, because I can't really talk about it here.
Yeah,
because this is the Friday, etc. But
yeah, you can do that.
I've got a really good feeling that it still holds up, and it's going to be awesome to see that on the big screen.
Exactly.
Anything that's a classic you want to go and see on the big screen.
Yeah, I want to see Star Wars on the big screen.
Hey, go to the Artcraft Theater. And,
when it's on.
Yeah, we'll go to the Artcraft Theater and
exactly.
Sign their little paper saying Star Wars, Mark Hamill, science fiction. They've got a paper there, a sign sheet where you can list down movies that you want to be shown there. They have to get a sponsor, of course, because that's how they're a nonprofit.
Do you think it's like an original print?
Maybe not an original print, but
because they have the poster in that theater. The original is back.
Oh, yeah. For the poster, you think that's an original print?
No, I mean.
Yeah,
like you know, this theater that we're talking about. You know, we've been there dozens of times. It's where we had the film festivals.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had a flashback. Oh god.
I was confused. I thought you were talking about the original print of the movie that went out.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay. But then I got confused.
Do you think they have like a print of it? Or do you think they've shown like a print of like the original print of it?
I'd have to ask around, because they at some point.
Like, do you think if it has, because even like the like that set you have over there.
Yeah.
And even the one from 1994 does because it has A New Hope. The original print didn't have Episode 4, A New Hope. That one does. It's been like that since they re-released it in theaters in 1981.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know, man. I'd have to ask, because the Artcraft has actually had film reel projection of these movies.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time, but there are some times you can catch where they're using a DVD because they either couldn't get the print,
Yeah.
the film reel, or it just doesn't exist.
And obviously the film festivals we were at, they had a digital projector, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember, because sometimes there'll be a delivery sponsor. This is the Historic Artcraft Theater, nonprofit theater here in our hometown. They live off sponsorships.
Yeah.
They have a sponsor for the movie, the candy of the month, the delivery sponsor, if they have an actual film reel print, because they have a film reel projector up there in the projector booth.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that makes seeing a classic on the big screen all the better.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But I'd have to ask around if they've ever shown the original print.
Yeah. So.
Like, does the original print even still exist?
Supposedly, I know some people, like, I think James Rolfe might have one.
Can we get that man to transfer it over?
Or maybe get him to sponsor the Cinemasker to sponsor the.
Oh, hey, Joe Bob Briggs has been here before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Joe Bob from Monster Vision.
Yeah.
He's been here in Franklin before.
Yeah.
The B Movie Festival. They don't do it anymore because I don't know why. But they do have. But during that time slot, they have festivals. It'll be Stanley Kubrick, Tim Burton, or just strictly horror. But Joe Bob Briggs from Monster Vision was here in Franklin, Indiana during those B Movie festivals.
It's true.
And I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if only that was still going on, we could bring that to James's attention.
Yeah, or if he has like a print of Star Wars.
Oh yeah. So, why not?
Yeah.
He could be the delivery sponsor.
Yeah.
that would draw a crowd because
James has a big following. So.
Yes, he does. And like anyone with a big following who's still around from a classic film like the 80s Flash Gordon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The man who played Flash in that movie, when they were showing that at the Artcraft Theater, he came in for a Q&A.
Yeah, or
and it was a packed theater.
Or like a Samurai Cop.
What?
Samurai Cop. You've never heard of that?
No.
It's like a really infamous B movie. A lot of people talk about it. Actually, Red Letter Media did an interview with that guy. So it's from like the 80s and something.
I've never heard of that. I need to look this up.
Yeah, it's and they made a sequel to it. Not with the same director years later, but the same actor. It's a B movie. Yeah. Or yeah. Okay. So I guess we've gone on long enough about that.
Well, yeah, that would be awesome to see the original print.
Yeah. So I guess let's move on to our
James, please.
Yes.
Please. The Historic Artcraft Theater, Franklin, Indiana.
Yep.
You can look them up.
Yeah.
Please get in contact.
Do something here to Indiana. You didn't bring the movie to here.
Oh no, you didn't.
Your AVGN movie.
No, you didn't.
No. Or maybe no, you didn't.
No,
it was just Chicago.
Yeah.
Close. That was the closest where. So, but okay. I guess let's move on to our discussion portion. Something that I kind of put together: box office crunching.
Would you like to kick us off, so I can get an idea of what you mean?
And just a disclaimer: we're totally not, taking an idea from some other, group of people that talk about movies.
I'm confused. Who are you?
Red Letter Media.
Really?
Yeah, they did like a episode of Half in the Bag.
On box office crunching?
Yeah, for 2016.
I did not. I need to look that up.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I have a little spreadsheet here. I didn't share this with you because I wanted to get your reactions.
Okay.
But basically, we're gonna count through I've got, let's see, about 13, 14 movies that came out in summer, or really just 2018 in general. And basically, we're gonna count through the budget, the worldwide and domestic gross, the profit, the foreign gross, and if it lost or if it had a loss or made money. So yeah,
hit me. Hit me with your best shot.
Because then we also with these really big movies, especially, we times the budget by 2.
Really big movies
for marketing.
Okay, gotcha.
So you double that. It's not an exact number, and none of these are exact numbers. just approximate numbers, so we might be off by some. And if we are, just let us know. So yeah.
Let's do it.
So what
Interesting.
what do you think was the biggest movie?
The biggest movie, Infinity War.
Yes. Budget of there's the numbers are mixed here, but between 340 to 400 million dollars.
That sounds about right.
Times that by 800 million. Worldwide gross just over $2 billion.
That seems about right.
I know we've said 4 billion in the past, but we were wrong. So actually, I need to change this.
But that sounds about right.
Yeah. So, and we'll talk about the foreign, the gross and everything in a bit. But yeah, because there's a lot to say. So, and it had a profit of 1.2 billion.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, now, what do you think had the most loss?
The most loss in 2018.
Yes.
Trying to think. Trying to think of a movie that's Han Solo.
Yes. Well, at least that's the lowest one I have on the list. There might be other films that had a bigger loss, but this one is kind of the most obvious. So budget of quite high at $275 million.
Sounds about right, Disney.
And when we say budget, production budget plus marketing.
Yeah.
$275 million times that by two, $550 million, because that's with all the reshoots and everything they did. Mm-hmm. Total worldwide gross of $392 million.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And a loss of $158 million.
Ugh.
Yeah. So.
Not good.
No. Okay. What's another movie that you think had a really big profit?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I actually didn't do numbers for that.
Oh, you didn't do them?
No. But actually, I looked on Box Office Mojo, and actually, I think it was like Solo was number 6 box office, and I think Ant-Man was just a little bit above that. So, but I actually didn't do calculations for that. Sorry.
It's all good. What's another one that came? Oh, the Tomb Raider movie. I know that came out this year.
Tomb Raider, I do have that. Budget of only $94 million.
94 million? Okay.
I say only 94 million. Okay.
Yeah.
Times that by 188 million. Worldwide gross $273 million.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah.
Not too
profit
bad.
about $85 million. So very, very small profit margin.
Kind of reflects the film. That just kind of reflect the film.
Yeah. So the second largest grossing movie worldwide, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Okay. Budget of $170 million.
That makes sense.
Marketing, $340 million.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's Jurassic Park.
Total worldwide gross, $1.3 billion. Profit of $884 million.
I can see that.
Yeah, unfortunate. The third one, what do you think was that?
The third highest grossing movie this year?
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Or at least of the summer.
Transformers?
Transformers didn't come out this year. Thank God.
They got Bumblebee coming up. Third grossing. Third worldwide grossing. Death Wish?
No. I'll give you a hint. It's animated.
Animated. Wait, whoa. Wait. It's scratching at the back of my head. Animated. What? Animated. Animated. What did I say? Oh, dang it. It's scratching in my head. Wait, do that again. Let me hear that.
I'm sorry, the voice.
Animated.
The sequel we wanted for a long time.
The Incredibles.
Yes, Incredibles 2. Budget of $200 million.
God dang it! Why did I forget that?
Yeah. So $400 million in marketing. Total worldwide gross $1.2 billion.
That better be how it is. That
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
We've waited so long for that.
Profit $200 million. So
They better be making that much.
okay. So there's some other films on here. Mission Impossible Fallout.
Mhm.
Budget of 178 million. So 356 million marketing. Total worldwide gross of $790 million. Right? Yeah. Now, what's another bomb you think?
Another bomb from 2018. Bomb. Slender Man.
Probably, but I didn't do calculations for that. Sorry. I know we don't have a lot of time to prep these, so I had to just do all these kind of in one night. So I didn't
because we're busy. We're usually busy throughout the week, so we do what we can.
We're both trying to find new jobs.
Yeah.
So I'll just say A Wrinkle in Time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't see that movie.
Yeah. Budget of $132 million.
Mm-hmm.
$264 million with marketing. Total worldwide gross $132 million. So
I don't know, man. I don't know how to react. I didn't see that one.
It lost money. A loss of $32 million with the marketing.
Wow.
Yeah. The Predator was another bomb. Even though that's only been out for about a month, but really these days with big movies, you kind of have one weekend to make or break your film.
Like, oh, they were just talking about this. Venom had the second weekend, the most second weekend drop.
Yeah.
In the box office.
Yeah, I didn't do enough calculations of that because I ran out of time for like weekend drop off. But the Predator budget $88 million, 176 with marketing. Total worldwide gross as of right now, $123 million.
Ooh.
Yeah. So far it has a projected loss of $53 million.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Kind of reflects. It wasn't god like I know I say it just lacked personality. It wasn't god awful. Parts of it felt like it was going through the motions. It didn't have a lot of personality, and then it felt like the writers wanted to get to X, but they had to go through all the other letters of the alphabet, but they did it improperly.
Yeah. So there's really just one movie, but another one, but Ready Player One.
Okay, tell me. I did see that one.
Budget of $175 million.
That makes sense with all the
350 mil for marketing and budget.
Mm-hmm.
Total worldwide gross $582 million. So
wow.
Now I put that in yellow because it's kind of like it just barely broke. It kind of just broke even. So, but it wasn't because they were expecting like this to go
through the roof.
They wanted like $1 billion out of it, because correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they want like a franchise out of that?
I do not know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
A franchise out of that? It was just one book.
Well, yeah, but The Hobbit was just one book, and they made 3. And Peter Jackson, for some reason, made 3 movies out of that.
Well,
3 ungodly long movies.
Well, in Peter Jackson's defense, he actually sectioned off. He actually split the book into sections. Yep. Here, they did the entire book.
Yeah, but but that's a story for another day.
Yeah,
but you get the point. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So the other movie that it was in yellow was 8th Grade. I don't know the budget of this one because I can't find any budgetary information about that movie.
Not even a Box Office Mojo?
No, Box Office Mojo, there's no budget. Actually, for a lot of these movies, Box Office Mojo doesn't have a budget. I had to go on Wikipedia or some other website. But for 8th Grade, I can't find anything. Nothing at all.
I just draft up an email to Bo Burnham. How much did 8th Grade take to make? Marketing included.
Well, he might be contractually obligated not to say. so we don't know. So I don't know. It may or may not have lost money. We're not sure. All I know is domestic gross, because it wasn't released worldwide. $13.5 million.
That's
So-
not bad. Not
so
bad.
no. So I'm gonna.
But that's also because we don't know the
No.
the marketing or the budget, so we don't know what to compare it to.
I'm gonna assume it didn't have a marketing budget, apart from putting it on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube ads. So I'm gonna say I've been kind of guessing the minimum budget is 5 million. The maximum budget is 10 million. So, but I'm gonna say the sweet spot's about 7 million. So
they definitely,
because I'm sure they had to spend a great deal on like the rights to get like YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. I'm sure they had to get the rights for all those.
definitely.
So, yeah. So, and like of course, there's locations and child labor laws and everything. So, yeah, we're not sure if that broke even or if it lost money. So,
Well,
okay. So, there's other stuff. 50 Shades Freed. So
that came out.
yeah, this year.
I don't remember it.
Well, you good, and thankfully it's the last 50 Shades of Grey movie. So that's one thing. As bad as those films are, at least it's just 3 of them. So
There's like, yeah,
okay.
because there's 5 Transformers movies, or
And-
how many there are.
With more on the way, sadly. 50 Shades Freed, budget of only $55 million. 110 with marketing. Total worldwide gross of $371 million. Profit $261 million.
Made its money.
Yeah, but this kind of ties into our subtopic, the foreign gross. How much money they make overseas.
That definitely, and how that
Because-
affects movies and how they're made.
Because even like with Avengers: Infinity War, it made 1.3 billion overseas, particularly in China. Yeah.
Their government's letting them watch movies.
Yeah. It's because we don't. It's funny, they talked about we don't really have a handle on what they like or not.
It seemed
Because Star Wars didn't do well there. It never does well there. Like Solo here, it did like 179 million over there. So, and they like when The Force Awakens is coming out, they really pushed it. So, but then something like Warcraft, remember that movie?
yeah.
It did gangbusters over there. It did like 60 mil here. Nobody cared. So, but even like 50 Shades Freed, it did 271 million over there, which I have the domestic gross for here. Domestically, 50 Shades Freed made 100 million here.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Although, considering the subject matter of that movie, even though it's very light, if you know what I mean,
Wow. Wow.
and the Chinese, they have their,
I don't think I want to know.
no.
I don't want to know.
Okay, but even something like Avengers: Infinity War did 678 million here. And like we said, 1.3 billion over there.
And definitely the foreign market.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to get a grasp. It's like you said, it's hard to get a grasp on what they're gonna really go for.
Yeah.
But it's affected filmmaking over here because some people have theorized that certain films have been, a lot of the decisions behind it were made to attract the foreign market in mind.
Yeah, like The Mummy, the Transformers.
The remake of Red Dawn.
Oh yeah.
I found out. I don't know.
But anyway, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Okay, I may have made a mistake with the calculations with that, but we'll skip that.
Okay.
But Jurassic World over here, 416 million. So, yeah. Shut up. It's my eBay.
Stop talking to technology. It can't talk back.
Okay, or back to Ready Player One. Here it made about 137.
Mm-hmm.
And the foreign market 445 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, not counting for the worldwide, what do you think was the highest grossing movie here domestically?
Domestically, I'm gonna. Oh, you did throw out the number. Hmm. Wait,
Or at least for this summer.
for the summer.
Aside from Avengers, that's the obvious.
Yeah, that's the obvious. The Incredibles.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually right underneath, at least on my list for highest grossing films domestically. Avengers is at 678. Incredibles 2 is at 607. So, I'm like, Incredibles 2 did 539 foreign. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, we don't have a handle because like A Wrinkle in Time did 32 million over there. It didn't do well. Which you think, well, the Chinese may not be fond of that kind of stuff. Like what from what I've heard, A Wrinkle in Time is because they're not because like Ghostbusters they didn't show it over there because they don't like that stuff because they don't like ghosts and like witchery or something. So, yeah. But they like Warcraft, which I haven't
fantasy.
Yeah. Like, or okay, yeah. What else? Okay, yeah, Predator. That's another movie. It's 72 million over there. 22 million more than here. So, yeah, we don't.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, we don't really quite, like I said, we don't have quite a grasp of what they like and what they don't. So, I guess that just makes them complex, I guess.
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess, like, what are our closing thoughts on this?
It's for the foreign market, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
If you get lucky, you get lucky.
Yeah.
You can or just take what we know, make some decisions if you're gunning for the foreign market. But for box office crunching wise, it really it can put some movies into perspective.
Yeah.
Especially it's like it can kind of inform how the reactions were. You're like, that like you see a movie had a loss of profit and you're like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But what continues, it sickens me. The Transformers movies.
Robots in disguise.
They consistently make money. And for those listening, like, or even you, Dylan or Ryan, if you like those movies, that's fine. You know, you can't help what you like, but it's just like,
I think you have.
Like, it's the what I hate about them is it's like it doesn't matter how bad the movie is, how poorly written the movie is, how racist and offensive those films are. I'm not saying I agree or don't with a lot of those statements, but it's just like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as they make money, they'll still make it. So
I think so it would be safe to assume you have a lot more. You have an issue more with not the existence, but the practices that brought them into existence.
I have issues with the existence.
Okay.
So I mean, if they did it, if somebody else did it, and Michael Bay and like a different production company did it, if somebody else did it, if it was in somebody else's hands, I'd be fine. Like I'd be a little more forgiving, even if they're not good. Like I'd be fine with that.
That's why I was pointing that out. You don't like the practices of the people making it that have made them.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so I think we're done. I think we're good.
I think we are done there.
Okay. So, on to our last topic for this episode.
This one's going to be good.
Practical versus CG.
Practical versus CGI. Both have their strengths. Both have their weaknesses. One is overused.
Yeah,
and I think I can make that, and I think people can assume what I'm talking about, because it's a safe guess. CGI is very heavily overused, but we all understand why. CGI has allowed us to do things that it's haven't been able to do in the past.
Right.
It makes financial sense why they do it. CGI considerably cheaper than to put together practical effects. And practical effects have a lot of factors that you have to account for and some unexpected factors. Like, let's say, here's a good example. Jaws. The practical effects on that, the shark, barely worked half the time. They couldn't get it working. They would sit there out on the ocean, listen to the radio, and the moment that somebody said, "The shark's working, the shark's working," they'd immediately start filming.
Yeah.
Until it broke down again.
Yeah.
But then they had to get creative to give the shark presence because the shark wasn't always working.
Hence the POV shot.
Exactly. But yeah, practical effects, they do look impressive because they do look impressive. Take a look at the 80s and all the horror movies back then.
Yeah, but even like some of them, like RoboCop, when what's his face is falling out the window and his arms are unnaturally long and they would go down to his knees. So.
Yeah. But like I said, both have their pitfalls and both have their strengths.
Yeah.
Practical has, to me, I think practical has the advantage of has an advantage that CGI is always constantly fighting against.
Yeah.
It's really there.
Yeah.
Like anyone who talks about CGI and practical effects, that's always the point that's brought up. Practical is actually there.
Yeah. But when they work best, I think it's like when they're combined.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Game of Thrones, I know you haven't seen it, but it's like when you do, it's like there's CG there, undoubtedly. But they're like CG extensions, like, you know, to extend like cities and people, or like when they have armies, they have like a group of people here, then they extend them here, put them here, there.
A good example would be a scene from Land of the Dead, George Romero.
Yeah.
A lot of practical effects. They didn't have Tom Savini, though he did have a cameo in that movie as the machete biker. Fun fact, that's the only recurring character in that whole series.
Yeah.
Because like Tom Savini once was at a convention saying, "It's him. I'm wearing the same outfit. I don't have the machete, but it's him."
Yeah.
But there's a shot in there where a bunch of characters are walking across a bridge. It was actually shot in front of a green screen, but they did the practical and the CGI so well you couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, and that's when it's best. Like Jurassic Park, the first one, is, you know, a good example of that. But back to Game of Thrones, like there's dragons in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like the CGI on them, it's CGI, but damn it, it's really good.
Yeah, definitely. There's really good CGI and how much money you can pump into something.
And they use it sparingly. Like there's a whole Screen Prism. Are you familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
There's a Screen Prism video. I don't know if you should watch it because there's spoilers. They do a whole video about how Game of Thrones uses CG sparingly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
What also helped? I think it's like both are a tool, but in the case of Lord of the Rings, the guy that they got to do Gollum wasn't the CGI guy. He was a texture guy, so he knew how to make it look good and look real.
Exactly. So
so it's all it really is up to who do you have at the helm.
Yeah. Then you have like the bad stuff, like obviously the prequels, the Star Wars prequels.
Where CGI was the name of the game.
Yeah, the Crystal Skull, the ants, the monkeys, the fridge.
Okay, the fridge was okay. Fridge was okay.
Yeah. Like I don't get like the whole like, but dude, calm the fuck down. It's like it. Yeah, it's not realistic, but it's just like nothing in the Indiana Jones films is supposed to be that realistic.
Like mini tangent. Why do people complain about, like you said, why did people complain about the fridge? Indy has fallen out of a sky in a water raft and lived. He jumped off a tank as it was falling and managed to catch the side of the cliff.
Yeah.
He's based off the old adventure serials where these guys would end an episode obviously falling into a pit of death, and then somehow in the next episode they had grabbed a vine out of nowhere.
Yeah, or he's also based on James Bond.
Exactly.
You can't, like, there was that one film, I can't remember which one, where he's hanging off of an airplane, like a dodo or something.
It's like that the unrealistic situations, like deadly situations, and him getting out with very illogical explanation is the name of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But back to our discussion.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we talked about Peter Jackson, and it's like even he's sort of like kind of fallen out of it, like because like there was King Kong, which I really like, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of CG and green screen there.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, like a lot. It's parts of it have not aged well.
I think Kong still has aged pretty well
Oh
because
yeah,
you had Andy Serkis
oh
doing
yeah,
the motion capture.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But there were parts where oh, wow, they were obviously standing in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
So
Though I will admire Peter Jackson, he is willing to get down and dirty with practical effects, like the
mhm,
old techniques
mhm.
when they recreated the lost spider
Oh
scene.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I love that. I respect that about him.
definitely. So, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
Or and then there's others like I Am Legend with the big gaping mouths and Will Smith.
oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, okay, that movie.
I
I really enjoyed that movie. It's a
yeah,
remake of Omega Man, which was a remake of The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price.
right.
What I love about I Am Legend is that while the CGI hasn't aged well, it's used very sparingly, and the creatures during most of the film are kept in very low lit shadows. You don't
Yeah.
get a good look at them for the most part.
But I heard they did have practical like monsters on them. They were like really like red and like creepy looking. It was just like why didn't you just use those? Yeah, it might look a little fake, but it's just like it's actually there.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to use CG, touch it up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you also have like what you said the touch ups, but you have like Jurassic World, the first one,
Mhm.
where they had apparently they had like real like puppets
Mhm.
there, but then they replaced it with CG. I'm just like, come on, look, it might look a little fake, but like they're dinosaurs. How real can you get?
George Lucas did that once. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Yoda was replaced with a
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yoda was a puppet in that one.
But I can kind of understand because that puppet was kind of shit, and that's kind of another thing that was mine. You know, when are practical effects bad? One thing that comes off my head is the first Terminator movie. You know, there's like the robotic eye piece, but it's like it's obviously a prosthetic. Like you can
Yes.
see you can see like the thing like bulging through the makeup.
And you can also see how the head moves.
Yeah.
Like in T2, they managed to do a similar scene like that, but much better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Terminator 1, that scene has aged a bit.
Yeah.
But I am still impressed by the
yeah.
arm scene. That still holds up
Oh
because
yeah, yeah.
because we're not seeing because it's meant to be.
Yeah, that's another good example though, of you know combining CG Terminator 2.
Yeah, but yeah, that arm scene in the first one, the arm's just laying there. It should be laying there because we know, okay, he bursted a servo. He can't move his head, so it's gonna move robotically until he fixes it up.
Yeah. Now
There's a juxtaposition there.
Now listen to me very carefully.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to have them all answered.
That was perfect.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely the CGI and the CGI in T2, it still holds up today.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because also Robert Patrick was actually in the fire in a suit. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Liquid metal looks great. So.
Yes, it does. It works. It works.
Yeah.
Oh, and taking out Robert Patrick's dong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they CG'd out his pecker.
Yeah. Yeah.
A fun factoid that I unwittingly heard, and now you unwittingly heard.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I do on this podcast. I tell you facts that you don't need to know.
Yeah. So.
The obvious green screen in the room.
Yes. Even though they apparently could have shot on the roof. Actually.
They could have.
Yeah, I was Doug Walker did an interview with Greg Sestero,
mm-hmm.
and you know he has like one of those mini facts down there, and he's just like they built an actual set, even though they could have used like a roof to an actual building that matched.
This is going to be a real Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Real Hollywood.
This looks exactly like the alley that looks like outside. Why don't we just film that?
No, this is going to be a real Hollywood movie.
What the story, Mark?
What's the story, Mark?
Oh,
I,
we got to do a commentary on that on the round table.
I gotta get a copy of the Disaster Artist because
Yes.
I just want to watch that. I want to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
But I also want to see that because that and also that's credits scene with the
Yes.
actual Tommy Wiseau. That
Yes.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Why are you talking like that?
That movie's great.
It is.
So, yeah. Let's put another example. Is like good CG.
Good CGI. Yeah, we can't count animated films because that's the whole point.
Yeah. Or I guess we like the first Toy Story. That kind of like broke the mold of what CGI was at the time.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can count Toy Story because it was one of the first entirely computer generated movies that showed that made people take this seriously because of how well it did.
Yeah. Or like what? Can we talk about Forrest Gump?
Yes, we can talk about Forrest Gump. We can always talk about Forrest Gump. It's a damn good movie. Why won't we talk about it?
Well, I mean, is like they combine, Tom Hanks with like footage of JFK or Richard Nixon, or what was that one TV talk show?
I don't know who it was, but I know what scene you're talking about.
Yeah,
where
it was
with
like,
John
but it's
Lennon.
like he's obviously not there.
Yeah.
And maybe back then that was like kind of cool because like inserting yourself like into like historic footage, like, but it's like any YouTuber with a green screen can do that. Like we could do that.
Oh, did you know? Oh, do you remember when this reminds me of an interesting example that I want to see. It was this movie that turned the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari into a sound movie.
I didn't see that.
It's not, and what that sounds like, you're thinking, oh, did they just add sound effects in along with the musical score? No, they added in new segments to the movie with additional actors via green screen. I want to see how well that turned out because James, when he was doing his
Monster
video,
Madness.
no, not Monster Madness, his video collection, he was talking about it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I'm gonna go watch that video again and see what the name was because I want to see how well they did that. Because
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That was me. That was my phone.
Okay.
But what's a really good example? I would say.
More. I was gonna say
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2. I will.
Yeah.
I won't say Spider-Man 1 because the CGI.
Yeah, that movie looks really dated. Like
the CGI is very dated.
That whole movie's like dated. It's like it looks like it came out in like 90s, early 2000s.
Yes,
like,
it does.
The second and third movies, like they went to like an anamorphic frame and everything.
Yes, but Spider-Man 2, and even Spider-Man 3, despite all its faults, excuse me,
the Sandman. Oh, fantastic.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
Sure, obviously he's not there, but that was still the birth of the Sandman. That was so perfect.
Yeah, that's like a short film, and that I guess that kind of ties into like our last segment. The box office is like it's reported that movie could have cost like $350 million. So, which back in 2007 that was ludicrous.
Exactly, but what those two movies did, they have that harmony. It was a mixture. They knew how to balance out the real actors and the CGI.
Right.
Yeah. Which the first movie didn't. But I will I will say the CGI looks a little bit better when it's far away.
Or like when he's swinging around the city.
Oh yes, like when he's actually got the suit on when he's swinging around. That looks pretty good.
Oh yeah.
But it was the scene after he was looking for his uncle's killer. He does that. He swings around on that little
flagpole.
Yes, the flagpole. It's so obvious that it's CG. It's like,
yeah.
Or when he's crawling up. Ugh.
Yeah, it's oddly enough that they shot that scene at night. So I mean, I know like in the comics it was at night, but yeah, still.
But yeah, it's that CGI is not aged well. But and when he's swinging around in the suit, that's when it got good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, but I guess like like the prequels, like there's like there's a lot of model work like that goes on the scene. There's a video by E.C. Henry like where he showed all the models that they used in the prequels. So
I would say that
they used as like sets and everything. green screen backgrounds and everything. So
I would say that the Phantom Menace, at least, I think they kind of, I think they did kind of, I think Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith
hmm
had the better balance because I remember in 2 there being a lot of CGI
well,
going on, especially for this.
Sith, there's no like on location shooting. But I guess they just knew how to do it better with than clones.
Because I remember Clones, upon retrospect, being the more. It was more like, okay, I'm definitely looking at a whole CGI environment,
Yeah.
which a lot of the Revenge of the Sith was too,
Yeah.
considering a lot of the areas they were in. But I felt Revenge of the Sith did it better than
Yeah.
Clones.
Yeah. I guess that kind of ties in because like with some recent films, it's like Doug Walker said, like for Wonder Woman, like the effects were not good, but it's like they didn't care. You know, I so I guess it's like there's like a style thing like Sin City or
Well, yeah, or 300.
not a lot of people are accepting the 300 movies.
Wait, oh yeah, there were 2.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Did you know there was a parody? There was a parody that was available at Family Video called 305.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about Meet the Spartans.
Oh no no.
Sorry.
You're a dancing penguin.
No. I don't want to think about those movies. I don't want to think about the guys who made those movies.
I don't even know who the people were.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say their name in public.
But I think, I think, no. Infinity War. I know Marvel movies, especially for a lot of the action, it's very heavily CGI.
Oh yeah.
I think Captain America, the first Avenger. I think that one was done pretty well in the CGI department.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Red Skull
Yeah.
taking off his mask, that has to be CGI, and Infinity War, I would say too.
Yeah.
Hey, there's definitely a lot of
Like
CGI going on.
like it's like Thanos isn't well. I mean, Josh Brolin he's there with the all the stuff on his face, but
Mhm.
like Thanos himself, like the big purple guy, he's not there.
I mean, and when they do an outrageous color like that, you're like, okay, I think it worked. It like
Yeah.
normally with something like that, like, oh, that's that's a very outlandish color for this scene, or this kind of not this kind of character. Not, but what am I trying to say? It's like against everything else, against the scenery that would normally stand out, but they made it work.
Definitely.
And I have to make this reference. Oh wait, I can't recall the character's name. Brandon. He was from Brand from the Goonies. Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes, he was.
Huh.
And he also was Cable in Deadpool 2.
Yeah. Oh, Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. He was
Okay.
from Goonies too.
Oh,
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Mhm.
Now I know.
Yes, you do. And knowing is half the battle.
Mm-hmm.
G.I. Joe. Those movies actually weren't too bad, actually.
I haven't seen them. I mean, I never really cared for G.I. Joe, to be honest, but
But they were pretty harmless,
yeah.
I enjoyed them for what they were. Just a nice action movie.
Yeah. The Rock.
Yep.
That's the only thing I remember about those movies.
That was in the sequel, I remember.
Oh yeah.
Because there was the first guy in the first one, and then he gets killed off in the second one, and then it's about the Rock.
Interesting. So yeah, so I guess because we're kind of getting a little long-winded here, so what are our closing thoughts?
If you can, my closing thoughts would be, if you want to do practical effects, do it.
Yes.
If you want to do CGI, do it. I mean, I can't keep you. No one can tell you. No one can really tell you what to do. They can advise you, but no one can make that decision except for you.
Right.
Now, ideally, and ideally, and we've seen this in some of the movies that we mentioned, there's a mixture of it.
Yeah.
Practical and CGI are going to help. Practical is going to help with the presence issue that CGI runs into, and CGI can make things shine. The touch-up is nice, and also just get crafty with both of them, like Sleepy Hollows. I'm still impressed with the Horseman there. because CGI takes away pretty well.
Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it does a really good job of taking things off people.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
you use CGI, but Mortal Kombat, the first one.
Mhm.
That's what I wanted to touch on.
Okay. What?
Some of the CG is horrendous, but like the stuff where it's like the thing shooting out of the hand, like that worked.
Mhm.
Or what was it, Gore?
Goru.
Goru, yeah,
Goru.
the practical like a monster, like a real suit, looks
Mhm.
fantastic.
Mhm.
So,
It all depends on the work that you put into it.
yeah, exactly. But that little like monster thing, that awful CG monster thing, I don't know what it's called, but it's like it was awful.
That movie has a soft spot in my heart,
I mean,
but
so do it does me too, but
yeah, people know about it. But
yeah, the sequel though, uh, you know, I think the
when
guy
you're
who
writing the fuck ball.
oh God, I think the guy who made that sequel also made Food Fight.
Lawrence Kasanoff? Larry Kasanoff?
I think so.
God damn, that man gets around.
Yeah. Oh, we got to do a commentary over
Yes,
Food
man.
Fight.
Food. Oh God.
You're gonna need to put alcohol in this to survive that movie.
Yes, this is water, people. This is water. But I'm gonna be doing. Why is Christopher Lloyd in this?
Yeah.
And why is he walking around like he just went to the John in his pants? Okay, now, is this the real world? Is this the Toy Story rules, or is this something else where there's no rules? Wait, he's floating on a 2-liter? Funny.
Is this Toy Story rules, or is it? Oh, have I been eating too many raisins, or is that the California raisins?
Well, it's nice for them. It's nice for them to get a gig like that after raising all that. They went down. The popularity of raisins went down.
I like raisins.
Oh no! It's just they had that surge of popularity in the '80s, and then something happened at their manufacturer, and then something happened there, and then the public's image soured.
Yeah, but we're getting off topic. We will do a commentary over Food Fight.
No, we will not.
Yes, you will.
No.
I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
Oh God,
this is why we're doing it.
Yes,
we're doing it. Okay, so I guess
we promise we won't make too many JonTron or other references people have made. We'll try to be our own.
I think you meant to say we make no promises.
We make no promises because it's just too easy to reference them.
Yeah. Okay. So closing thoughts. CG, we like it. Practical, we love it. Use them wisely. Like that's our thoughts.
Like if we were to talk about a spectrum. This is practical right here, and my other arm is CG.
Yeah.
Somewhere right about here.
Yeah.
I think we need to lean a bit more to practical. That way you always have your foot in something that's actually on camera.
Yeah.
And CGI will help you build on it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have to get close-ups, try to use the practical.
Yeah. I just thought of a really bad really bad use of CGI.
What?
I do enjoy this movie. It's one of Clint Eastwood's finest. What was the name of it? It was about the sniper from the sniper in the Middle East, about the American sniper in the Middle East.
I think I've heard of it.
He was murdered by somebody who he was taken to the shooting range.
Okay.
He was played by Tom Hardy. Hold on. American Sniper. It was American Sniper.
Oh yeah.
Yep. No. Yeah.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, Clint. Yeah, it's a fine film by Clint Eastwood, but there was a scene in there, and I'm pretty sure people know about this already. It's supposed to be a touching. It was a very touching scene in the theater, but when I've gone back and looked at it, the emotion is there, but one thing kind of drags me out of it. It's the baby. They're in the
CG baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no! It wasn't that. This is actually the worst example of what what we think of like practical use CGI to enhance it, use CGI when you can, etc. It's the worst example of this.
Well, what is...
Okay, the baby is a doll.
Okay.
And well, that's how it looks. It looks like it's just a baby doll that they're carrying around, and they CGI the hand to be grabbing like a baby would be, but it's so obvious that it's kind of detached from the actual prop.
Yeah, it reminds me of Revenge of the Sith when Luke and Leia were being born. You know, like they were dolls, and they had like little animatronic things that like the actors would kind of control.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Or they CGI'd the fruit. The fruit was CGI.
The pear.
The pears was CGI.
Oh god.
Look closely and you will see it is CGI.
But you don't have to look closely.
But it's fun to look closely. Just zoom up on the lips and see it just disappear the moment the last frame of the mouth being open.
Yeah. You don't. All you'd have to do is just like put the pear on the actual fruit on the fork. You know, just cut. You know, and then.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard.
Yeah, you can have Anakin use the Force to move a pear over. Just put it on her fork. Cut.
Yeah. Okay. But okay, I think we're done with that. So.
Yeah. Just.
All right. So.
Nothing
else.
Nothing else. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for this week's episode of the Filmmakers Roundtable. This podcast comes out every Monday in audio form on SoundCloud, video form on YouTube. Please leave your feedback in the comments below. Tom over here is jamming out because I think he can hear the outro music right now. But we will see you all next week. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments below. Any special things that we talk about today that have special links to them, we will leave them in the description below. Follow the links in our Twitter, the links to our Twitters, our personal YouTube channels to see what we're up to, and also check out our Facebook group on Facebook. Once again, people, keep on filmmaking, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching this week's episode, guys. Make sure to follow us on SoundCloud and iTunes, as well as our Facebook and Twitter pages. Don't forget to subscribe to the Roundtable, as well as our personal YouTube channels, all the links of which will be provided in the description. Thanks, guys, and we will see you on the next episode of the Filmmakers Roundtable.